Hey guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to Zelda News. Remember, way back in the dark dawn of Bastian time, we used to have some episodes that were Nintendo news and Zelda news smooshed together because there just wasn't enough of one or the other to go around. Well, that's the case this week for Zelda news. Not enough Zelda news, so today I'm just going to show you the one most amusing Zelda news story that tickled my fancy this past week, and then 2 days from now will be the rest of the Zelda news. So anyways, let's get to that first story. So that Zelda story, pretty amusing picture. It's called The Real Zelda Timeline Nintendo Doesn't Want You to See. And it's pretty funny. It covers basically everything that Tyrell Historia left out of their version of the timeline. And yeah, so anyways, if you don't like this particular timeline, well, excuse me, viewers. I had to, I'm sorry. But let's get on to that Nintendo news. So our first bit of Nintendo news is kind of weird. It's that apparently, maybe I'm misunderstanding this. You'll definitely want to click on the link down below to read it yourself, but apparently Nintendo requires people who are publishing their games on the 3DS to have a majority share in Japan. Basically, the company must be predominantly Japanese. Now, I don't understand how this is possible because I know that there are certain publishers, indie developers who are, like Renegade Kid, for instance. He's not Japanese. He's the Mutant Mud guy. So I really, frankly, don't understand this news story. Maybe I should have read it 500 more times, but that's what I'm getting out of it, and that's just kind of weird. But of course, that's not a... Like, Renegade Kid isn't a game publisher, he's a game developer. So, for those of you who don't really understand, a developer sort of creates the game, and then usually an entirely different company actually publishes that game. So, I guess maybe Mutant Mudds was published by a different developer. Maybe it was published by Nintendo themselves. I'm not sure, but it's kind of odd. Our next bit of Zelda news is kind of a weird bit of trivia, which is that way back in Super Mario Bros. 3 is when the Chomp first appeared, and something kind of odd is that it seems like it was random to me when I was playing the game that sometimes they would break free off of their wooden stake, but it's not random at all. It turns out after they tug against that wooden stake 49 times, they break free. So now we know all of those years later. And our final story is pretty weird. Yoshi is the star of his own game. Except it's a ripoff. It has nothing whatsoever to do with Nintendo. And in fact, the developer of this game says that he had no idea who Yoshi was or that Yoshi was a character owned by Nintendo. All he knows is that he bought some pre-made 3D character model assets which he used in his game. So yeah, he maybe is living under a rock to have no idea who Yoshi is. I mean, I'll take him at his word. It turns out it's correct that the company that he bought these 3D model assets from do in fact sell Yoshi, which of course is illegal. So yeah, that's just weird that he has no idea who Yoshi is and then went ahead and made a game starring him. So So that's it for this episode of Zelda news. Again, 2 days from now will be a whole lot more Zelda news. Well, not a whole lot more, basically just 4 more Zelda news stories, but tomorrow is more Nintendo news. See you then, guys. Bye!